My neighbor spent $71,000 on a brand new Lexus last spring. 2 doors down, a retired school teacher drives a 20-year-old sedan she paid $6,400 for. Hers rides quieter. Hers will still be on the road long after his is traded in at a loss he will not see coming. I have been turning wrenches for 23 years, and I will let you in on the cruelest joke in this business. The luxury sedans that actually go the distance are the ones nobody will touch. They rot on dealer lots for months because of the badge on the trunk and the depreciation curve behind them. So mechanics buy them quietly for our own families, and we keep our mouths shut. Today, I am breaking that silence. 3 dirt-cheap luxury sedans that will outlast every new Lexus rolling off the line right now. Number 1 is the one that is going to mess with your head because of what it actually is. Let's get into it. Number 3, the Hyundai Genesis sedan. Before you scroll away because you saw the word Hyundai, sit with me for 90 seconds because this is the most car you can buy for the least money in America right now, and it's not close. A few months back, a younger guy, maybe 28, came into my bay with a printout of a certified, pre-owned BMW 5 Series. 2018, 61,000 miles, dealer wanted $24,000, and they had already pre-approved him at some ugly interest rate. He wanted me to tell him it was a good idea. I could not. I told him that car had a cooling system and electronics package that would start nickel and diming him the second the warranty blinked out, and that I had seen 3 of that exact generation come through with 5-figure repair estimates. He asked what he should do with $12,000 instead. I pulled up the listings and showed him a 2015 Genesis 5.0 with the V8, 74,000 miles, 1 owner for $12,800. He had never heard of it. Most people have not. He bought it. 8 months later, he texted me a photo of the odometer rolling past 90,000, and the word still feels brand new. Here's what that badge snobbery is hiding. The second-generation Genesis, built for 2015 and 2016, was Hyundai swinging directly at the Mercedes E-Class, the BMW 5 Series, the Audi A6, and the Lexus GS, and they were undercutting all of them by thousands while throwing in more standard equipment. The 5.0 trim came with a 420 horsepower V8, a 17-speaker Lexicon stereo, ventilated seats, adaptive cruise, and a chassis tuned by people who clearly drove German cars for homework. The V6 version made 311 horsepower, and, in my honest opinion, you would never miss the 8 cylinders in daily driving. And the engine is the part nobody gives Hyundai credit for. That TAU V8 family racked up multiple Ward's 10 Best Engines awards over its run. It's a direct injected 8 paired with a smooth ZDF-style 8-speed automatic, and the owners who change the oil every 4,000 miles are routinely cruising past 100,000 miles and 150,000 miles with nothing but routine service. I've had Genesis owners on internet forums show me teardown photos at 90,000 miles where the internals look like they came off the assembly line yesterday. Now I'm going to be straight with you because that's the whole point of this channel. This car is number 3 and not number 1 for a reason. The 2015 model earned a low predicted reliability score when it was new, and these cars can throw electrical gremlins, a flaky sensor, a finicky infotainment connection, the occasional warning light show that clears on a restart. The transmission, while generally tough, is the most expensive thing that can go wrong, so you maintain it religiously. The flip side? Demand for these is so low that a used replacement transmission runs around $1,000. Let that sink in. The market hates this car so much that even its parts are cheap. The numbers are where it gets silly. A 2015 Genesis 3.8 trades hands around $11,000 to $13,000. The V8 5.0 sits around $13,000 to $20,000, depending on miles. A comparable year Lexus GS 350 will run you $8,000 to $10,000 more for less horsepower and less standard kit. You are buying a car that's stickered for over 50 grand for the price of a base economy hatchback. If you go shopping for one, here's your checklist. First, demand maintenance records and verify the oil was changed often. This engine rewards clean oil and punishes neglect. Second, on the test drive, cycle through every electronic system: the screen, the cameras, the climate, the seats. You're hunting for glitches because a healthy one behaves perfectly. Third, check for open recalls by the VIN. These had several, including minor water intrusion into the rear lamps, and you want them all closed out. Fourth, on the 3.8 with all-wheel drive, do slow figure eights in an empty lot and listen for any binding. Who should buy it? Anyone who wants genuine full-size luxury and could not care less what the neighbors think. Anyone who'd rather spend 12 grand on a paid-off V8 than 30 grand financing somebody else's depreciation. Who should skip it? If you need bulletproof, set it and forget its simplicity above all else, or if you can't stomach the badge at the country club, this isn't your car. But if you can swallow your pride, the Genesis is a six-figure feeling sedan for compact car money. And honestly, the next one is even more overlooked, which I didn't think was possible. Number 2, the Infiniti M37, later sold as the Q70. This is the one I'd buy myself if I wanted a rear-drive luxury sedan that drives like a German car and brakes like a Japanese one, which is to say, almost never. I'll tell you about a customer I'll call Dave, because that's his name. Dave's a contractor, hard on his trucks, harder on his coffee, and he wanted something nice but not stupid for the highway slog to job sites. He'd been eyeballing a used Mercedes E350. I asked him to give me 1 week before he signed anything. I found him a 2013 Infiniti M37 with 68,000 miles for $16,500. He drove it, came back, and said, "This thing feels more expensive than the Benz." Then he asked the question everyone asks, why is it so cheap? And the answer is the answer to this whole video. It says Infiniti on the trunk, and the resale market has decided that's a discount. Dave's at 119,000 miles now. His total non-maintenance repair bill in 3 years is a single ignition coil, $40 and an afternoon. The heart of this car is the VQ37 VHR, a 3.7-liter V6 that's part of Nissan's legendary VQ family, the same basic engine architecture from the 370Z. It makes around 330 horsepower, revs like it enjoys it, and it's built tough enough that the tuner crowd bolts forced induction onto stock internals. For a daily driven, properly maintained example, this engine routinely sees 200,000 miles and keeps going. It runs 3 timing chains designed to last around 150,000 miles, paired with a stout 7-speed automatic that's one of the more durable transmissions in the segment. There's a nerdy detail I love here. Unlike most modern engines, this V6 doesn't use hydraulic lifters. It uses solid shim-style valve adjustment, which is old-school race engine thinking. The trade-off is that the valve clearances should be checked around the 60,000-mile mark. Most owners and even some shops skip it, and the engine usually tolerates that. But the well-cared-for examples that got it done are the ones still purring at 250,000 miles. I won't pretend it's flawless. These VQ engines are known to start sipping oil somewhere north of 150,000 miles. So you check the dipstick and you keep a quart in the trunk. That's normal, not a death sentence. They're also picky about fuel quality because cheap gas can prematurely degrade the catalytic converters, and you do not want converter material getting drawn back into the engine. Run decent fuel, and it's a non-issue. There was also a drive shaft recall on some examples, so verify it's been handled. Pricing makes this an absolute steal. You can find higher mileage M37s and Q70s starting around $10,000, while the clean, low-mileage, accident-free examples top out around $20,000 to $25,000. For that, you're getting a rear-wheel drive luxury sedan that genuinely competes with a BMW 5 Series on the road, with a fraction of the maintenance anxiety. The most common repairs are cheap: coils, sensors, brakes, and the parts are everywhere because they are shared across a dozen Nissan and Infiniti models. Your inspection checklist. First, pull the dipstick warm and check oil level and color, and ask the seller point blank how often it gets topped off. Second, on the test drive, take it past 4,000 RPM on an on-ramp. A healthy VQ pulls smooth and hard with no shudder. Third, inspect underneath for oil weeping around the front timing cover, a known seep spot on earlier builds. Fourth, confirm the drive shaft recall is closed and that the infotainment actually pairs to a phone, because that's a common annoyance. Who should buy it? The driver who wants something that's actually fun in the corners but won't bankrupt them. The person who's tired of paying the German tax for German repair bills. Who should skip it? If you want a roomy back seat and a soft, floaty couch of a ride, the M37 is firmer and more driver-focused than that. And if maximum fuel economy is your religion, a thirsty, rev-happy V6 isn't your sermon. But for the money, there is no better driving, reliable luxury sedan on the used market. None. Real quick, if this kind of no-nonsense breakdown is useful to you, hit subscribe. I put out the stuff dealerships genuinely wish I'd stop saying out loud. Because this last one? This is the car that exposes the whole game. This is the one that proves the title of this video, and it's going to sound like a contradiction until I explain it. Number 1, the Lexus LS430. Yes, I'm telling you, the luxury sedan that will outlast every new Lexus is itself an old Lexus. Stay with me, because once you understand why, you'll never look at the new ones the same way. A couple of years back, a woman in her 50s came into my shop, successful, sharp, ready to spend. She was cross-shopping a new Lexus ES and an Audi A6 and wanted my blessing on one of them. I asked her what she actually wanted from a car. She said, "I want to feel like nothing can touch me on the highway, and I never want to think about it." I walked her out back and pointed at a black 2005 LS430 that belonged to a buddy of mine parked there for a brake job. I told her to sit in the back seat and close the door. She did. When she got out, she didn't say a word for a second. Then, why is this quieter than the new one I just drove? Because I told her this was Lexus when Lexus had something to prove. She found a clean one for $9,000. She still sends me a Christmas card. Here's the heart of it, the part that makes this car a legend among mechanics. Under that hood is the 3UZ-FE, a 4.3-liter aluminum V8 making 290 horsepower, and it belongs to the same UZ engine family that's widely considered one of the most reliable engine lineages Toyota ever built. This is the engine bolted into the brand's flagship at a time when the flagship got the best of everything. It's naturally aspirated, so there's no turbo to fail. The post-2004 cars got a smooth, 6-speed automatic that specialists report seeing past 300,000 miles with little drama. People who service these for a living talk about them in numbers that sound made up. Owners regularly hand these cars down to their kids. I'll be honest about its one scheduled big-ticket item because honesty is the brand here. Unlike the chain-driven engines in the other two cars, the 3UZ uses a timing belt, and you want that belt and the water pump done together somewhere around the 90,000 to 100,000 mile mark. That's it. That's the maintenance bogeyman. Do that one job, keep the oil clean, and the engine simply does not quit. Compare that to a German flagship of the same era, where the cooling system is a web of brittle plastic just waiting to crack and dump coolant, and where something is always about to break. Now here's the part that ties this whole video together. The LS430 was the flagship, and Lexus poured exclusive materials and obsessive engineering into it that they didn't waste on lesser models. Heated and cooled seats front and rear, 4-zone climate, a Mark Levinson stereo, radar cruise control, even a rear seat refrigerator in 2002. And it's all built to a standard that, frankly, modern cars chasing screens and turbos and complexity have walked away from. The newest Lexus LS today starts north of $80,000 and doesn't even offer a V8 anymore. It's a twin-turbo V6 with vastly more complexity and more to go wrong. That's why I can stand here and say an old Lexus will outlast the new ones. It was overbuilt in an era that valued lasting over flashing. The pricing is almost offensive. A clean post, 2004 LS430 in great shape, trades for roughly $7,000 to $12,000, with the average sitting around $8,000. For perspective, this car routinely topped reliability and longevity studies, beating the Audi A8, the BMW 7 Series, and the Mercedes S-Class of its day. You are buying the most reliable full-size luxury sedan of its generation for the price of a beat-up commuter. Here's your buying checklist and follow it. First, prioritize a facelift car from 2004 to 2006 for the better 6-speed transmission. Second, get the timing belt service history. If it's been done recently, that's money in your pocket, and if it hasn't, budget for it and negotiate. Third, test every single speaker, because the factory amplifier and speaker foam can degrade with age, and a full OEM audio fix is not cheap. Fourth, if you're looking at the air suspension ultra-luxury trim, bounce each corner and watch for sag or leaks. The air setup is glorious when healthy and pricey when not, so a car on standard suspension is often the smarter buy. Fifth, the PRO move. Find one owned by an older driver who garaged it and kept every receipt. A grandpa spec LS430 with low miles is essentially a time capsule. Who should buy it? Anyone who wants true S-Class level isolation and serenity on the highway and intends to keep a car for the next decade with near zero drama. Anyone who's been burned by a European luxury sedan and wants to feel that opulence without the panic. Who should skip it? If you want sharp, sporty handling, this is a soft, supremely comfortable cruiser, not a corner carver, and go get the Infiniti from number 2. If you need the latest screens and smartphone everything, this car is from a different era. And if you live where parking is brutal, it's a big sedan. But if your priority is the lowest stress, longest lasting luxury experience your money can buy, I would put my own family in an LS430 tomorrow and never lose a minute of sleep. So there it is. 3 luxury sedans the market threw away and mechanics quietly hoard. The Hyundai Genesis, a 6-figure feeling V8 sedan selling for hatchback money because of a badge. The Infiniti M37 and Q70, a German-driving, Japanese-lasting, rear-drive gem that depreciated for no good reason. And the Lexus LS430, the old flagship that exposes exactly how much the new ones have given up. And the car I'd trust over anything in a modern showroom. You now know 3 sedans you can buy for well under 20 grand that will outlast cars costing 3 times as much. So the next time a salesman tries to steer you into a shiny new lease return with a turbo and a touchscreen and a payment that follows you for 6 years, you'll know the truth he won't tell you. The badge is the markup. The reliability was never about the price tag. If you want to see the engines I trust more than any others, the ones I've personally watched cross 300,000 miles without flinching, I made a whole video on that, and it's right here. 23 years under the hood taught me one thing above all: take care of the right car, and it will take care of you far longer than anyone expects. Drive safe, and I'll see you in the next one.